saw a headline, I think today at Politico, Mike Johnson's moment of truth. You've had a few of those already in your speakership. Here's another moment of truth, moments of truths maybe, but it is a big one this week because step one is this floor vote maybe tomorrow, maybe later in the week. Committee was sort of a sigh of relief there, but you've got a lot of cats to herd. Not everyone's on board from what the reporting suggests. Are you confident, and how would you measure that level of confidence that you're going to get this through? This is step one, right? Getting to the vehicle with literally no margin for error. Because I think there's at least one member who's a no.
There may be more than one, but they'll get there. We're going to get everybody there. This is a prayer request. Just pray this through for us. Because it is very high stakes, and everybody knows that. And as we were talking in the hall guy a little while ago, somebody noted a couple weeks ago, the thing about having a small majority is it brings great clarity. It's clarifying, I don't think anybody wants to be in front of this train. I think they want to be on it. And people come at with genuine conviction, about the debt and the deficit and about these issues and that issue. But I'm often reminded, and I remind my colleagues all the time, of what Ronald Reagan reminded us. I'd rather get 80% of what I want than go over the cliff with the flag waving. And for those of us who believe in limited government and liberty and opportunity and security and prosperity, we have to recognize that an aircraft carrier is not turned on a dime. It takes 3 miles to turn an aircraft carrier, right? It took us decades to get into the situation we're in. It is not likely that we're going to fix everything in one bill in one foul swoop. But if we can make great strides in these areas and we begin to change the trajectory of the carrier, we can turn it around. And if we do that well, and we demonstrate to all these new demographics who came into the party now, that it truly is our principles, our core conservative principles that lead to human flourishing. It is our principles that are better for them as individuals, families, a community, their state, the nation as a whole, then we will be able to hold this as a governing majority for years to come. This can be an historic moment for our party and our principles, and this is the first step in what will be many steps. It's day by day.
So if your analysis that it's going to happen / prayer request comes through this week, I guess part one of the question is, what would the timeline then look like to get to then the reconciliation piece, which would be maybe harder, right? This is just getting on to something, the vote this week. Then it's like, okay, what does a final bill that would become law actually look like? What timeline are you looking at for there? And then maybe one that you're not excited to contemplate, but has to be asked, if there's a wrinkle this week and there's a stumble, is there a plan B, or is it this or nothing?
I've got a whole playbook, but I'm not going to tell you that. We're going to score on this one, okay? But when the resolution passes, as you know, this is just the sort of the opening, the starting gun basically for the real reconciliation process. And so that is scheduled out, and I put out a very aggressive timetable, a schedule for the reasons we discussed. We need to do this quickly.
I think in 2017 you took too long. The Republicans took too long.
That's exactly right. We didn't get to the tax piece until late in the year. And so what happened was the benefit of what we had done was not fully realized by everybody before that midterm election. Only twice in 85 years has a newly elected president, had his party grow or add seats in the House in that first 2-year cycle. So we're going to have to defy history, and we will. I think we've got a very favorable landscape and the right ingredients to do it, but we've got to perform. So if we do it early, to meet that aggressive timetable, what we're going to do is pass the resolution, and then through the rest of February and all of the month of March, you'll see the committees. What happens is we give instructions to 11 different House committees in areas of jurisdiction on all these issues. And they've got to work through and find their equilibrium points in those subgroups, bring it up to the full group, get it on the floor. My calendar has us passing this by probably the first week of April and getting it to the Senate so they can do their work on it.
So after April 1st, perhaps?
After April 1st. You see how that works? A couple more votes. And then we get it done, and if this works, then we get it to the President's desk by early May. That would be enough time for this to become part of the law, to give the certainty that everyone needs, and for the American people to begin seeing the benefit of this so that it's reflected in the election outcome and in all of our lives. Yeah.
Just a couple more here.